Hey everyone, Kelsey from CPM here. I wanted to share a quick video of an interview that I did with my client, HagerSmith Design out of Raleigh, around a project that we partnered on recently, where we did some 3D laser scanning and modeling services for a renovation they had at Shaw University. So I hope you enjoy. Okay, so hey guys, thanks for joining today. I'm here with the dream team dynamic duo from HagerSmith Design, Bryan Gibson, who's the VP and architecture manager, and Nick Troutman, who is the BIM manager, employee of the month, BIM McMaster. So thanks for joining.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. So today I just wanted to talk a little bit about a project that we partnered on recently. We did some laser scanning and Revit modeling for you guys for a project that you're working on with Shaw University. So, Bryan, tell me a little bit about what Shaw hired you guys to do.
Yeah, so we were hired on as part of a design build team to look at Tupper Hall at Shaw University. And it's like a 11,000 square foot or so renovation. And it was a lot of little miscellaneous pieces and parts on this old 1920s building. So we didn't exactly know what we were going to be doing, but we did know that we're going to have to do existing facilities study, So that's what kind of brought me to thinking about doing the scanning.
Yeah. And it's a pretty cool project right in downtown Raleigh. It's nice high visibility.
Right.
Nick, why did you think this project was a good candidate for laser scanning?
One of the original site walkthroughs, we learned that the building was originally a gymnasium and then had been at some point converted to, I think, student housing, and then it became offices and classrooms. So there'd been a lot of work done in the building, including like the adding of the floors since it was originally a gymnasium. And honestly, walking through it, the floor plan just looked like a mess. There were just tiny little closets and little jut outs everywhere, and we kind of thought this is going to take us like a couple of people a couple of days to get an accurate field verification done, because it's 1920s, there were no existing plans. So I'm thinking this as we're walking around on the inside. Then we walk outside and we're looking at it, and I point out to Bryan that the first two floors go vertical because there's a basement and then the first floor and second floor. First two floors are vertical, and then when it gets to the second, it just ever so slightly starts to go in. And I'm like, dude, we are never going to get an accurate measurement from this. It might be a good thing to have scanned.
Yeah.
Not to mention all the interior walls. I mean, there were no right angles. Every wall was a different thickness. I mean, 100 years of construction on them. So, it was going to be really difficult.
Yeah, I remember when I got the call from you guys that was exactly what you were talking about, was you thought you were going to hand measure, and then you went out and did the site visit and quickly changed your minds.
Right.
Yeah, cool, thanks. So laser scanning is not a new sort of technology or service in the industry, right? It's been around for quite some time. And this is the first project that you guys have actually had laser scanned yourselves. What was your biggest hesitancy, I guess, around using the technology or this type of solution before?
Yeah, well, we do a lot of interior fit up and renovation type work. And so we're pretty good at using our own handheld type laser scanner and have a good system on the iPad that we use that to look at space and document it. But and I guess so it's a little bit of me being really stubborn and thinking, oh, we can do this, if I spend money, I also thought it was probably like a tough thing to like include into our fee, from a cost standpoint, and that it was going to cost a lot of money. So I was really not shocked, but I was surprised, when we got fees back to do Shaw, like really how cost effective it was. And if you compared it to our hourly rates and the fact, you had a couple people, probably 2 or 3 people doing it for a couple days. I mean, it was very competitive, and actually it was actually cheaper than us being able to actually do it. And it's going to be a better quality product at the end. So it was kind of a no-brainer. But again, yeah, it's mostly in BB and stubborn.
Well, I think not just the stubbornness, but you mentioned the type of work that we do, a lot of interior fit-ups. And so a lot of those, most of them are in buildings that we have CAD files for.
Yeah.
And so there's not the
sure.
need to go out with a, like, oh, well, there's this small space. Can we just go have it scanned just to make sure everything's okay? No, we have a CAD plan for it. Someone will take 2 hours and go verify it, versus it was an interesting opportunity for us. So we had nothing on this 100-year-old building, any plans that we'd have, which we didn't, but if we had gotten them, they would have been old and hard to read. This was just an ideal situation for us to try and do it. And I was really, really pleased with the results.
Yeah. So it's really more project specific. So that's great. So Nick, you're saying you're pleased with the results. So you were sort of the primary person dealing with the output or the data from the laser scans, and you're the one who received the Revit model and have been working with it. What was sort of your first impressions when you got the deliverable?
My first impression was like, wow, this is way better than I expected it to be. Like, honestly, I'd seen stuff before about like point clouds, and I was just like, man, that seems like a lot of work. Just
Yeah.
me wanting to be lazy and like, oh, well, let me create this wall from the point cloud. It's like, I don't want to figure that out. But it's like, man, it's like not only are these walls and the doors all done, but it's not just like generic stuff. Like the walls were done like specific wall types. There were different specific door types. It was like a really well put together model. So I was just super pleased with how well the model was put together and how easy it was to just like pull into our template.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's great to hear. I guess overall, what would you guys say was the biggest value that you saw out of the scanning process and just receiving a LOD 200 Revit model for this project?
Nick, you want to go? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, it kind of just a combination of the things that we've already said. It's like it was a massive time saver in terms of our billable hours and what we paid for the scan to be done. And the output was far better than I expected.
Yeah, there's really kind of a perfect set of perfect scenario, really. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So last and final question is this something that you guys think you'd utilize again on another project?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
For all the reasons we just said, but I mean, especially on anything like really renovation intensive in a kind of unusual building, it's like 100% we're going to do it. I think on like we do a lot of office type work, building type work. So I think we would probably use it for that too, if like the project is big enough. And I don't know, I mean, with it being so cost effective and you guys were quick to like get out there to do it. I mean, it was
it was a quick turnaround from the scan to the Revit model as well.
Yeah, it was. I mean, so
yeah.
I mean, it's something that we have to look at for I think we have to at least look at it for all of our, building renovation projects, whether it's just a fit up or it's something historic.
Cool. Well, I appreciate it, guys. This is great feedback, and we look forward to partnering on the next one with you. Thanks so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, thanks,